Hello everybody. Today is my sister's birthday and I'm going to be making some banana muffins for her, and whilst this is a recipe that I found online, I'm going to freestyle it, so we're going to see what happens. We're going to start with some sugar. So this is 90 grams of soft brown sugar, soft light brown sugar, and 20 grams of demerara sugar. And to that we are going to add 75 grams of soft butter, and we're going to cream this together. So now that the butter and sugar is creamed together, we're going to take it off the sides, and from here we're going to add 1 egg, and we're going to do that whilst it is mixing, and then to that egg we're going to start adding the dry ingredients. So now that we have added those ingredients, we're going to add the flour and baking soda. Just going to get all of this off and then we'll do that. We're going to add 180 grams of plain flour. We're also going to add, I think, half a teaspoon of, 1 teaspoon, sorry, of baking soda or baking powder. So we're going to add 1 teaspoon of this. We are also going to add half a teaspoon of salt. We are now going to mix this back up, and we're not going to do it too quickly just because we don't want to knock out all of the air. This is looking a lot like cookie batter, which is a bit of a concern, but we're not going to panic because baking is about experimentation. I mean, it's not, you're supposed to follow recipes in baking, but somebody has to invent recipes, so let's just try and we'll see what happens. So from here, now that we've got our cookie dough, we are going to mash up 3 very ripe bananas, and as you can see, they are very ripe. So we're going to do that. My cat is meowing. Jerry! So we're going to add this banana to the batter. We are also, to this, going to add a little bit of vanilla bean extract. I'm just going to add 1 teaspoon, I think. And just for experimentation purposes, I'm also going to add some of this coconut essence. And somebody bought me this when they were on holiday in, I want to say, Barbados. So we're gonna add some of that. And lastly, because this is experimentation purposes, I would like to add some lemon juice, and I'm only going to add half a teaspoon of this because I don't want this to be a lemon cake per se. There we go. We are also going to add some spices, and I think we're just going to go for some mixed spice for now. It smells nice. We just add some until the heart says stop. That much. And just because I love cinnamon, we're going to add some more cinnamon. I don't think there's any such thing as too much cinnamon. And we are lastly going to add some chocolate chips. So I've got this bag and it is already open. Don't know why it's not focusing. There we go. It's already open, so we're going to add all of this, and that for now is enough. I was going to add a second bag of chocolate chips, but I think, yeah, that is plenty for now. We'll mix it and see what happens. So yeah, this is certainly not the typical cake batter that we are all used to, but it smells delicious. And it's got butter, sugar and flour in it, so either way it's going to be delicious, especially with the addition of chocolate chips. I mean, realistically it's going to taste nice whether it looks pretty or not. So now that we have this concoction, I'm going to put it into some muffin cases, and bake it. So the oven is preheated to 190 degrees centigrade, which I think is 375 Fahrenheit. I'm not actually sure about that, I will check. And that is heating up nicely. It's not quite ready yet, and by the time that I've put it in the muffin cases, I'm sure it will be. So let's get the muffin cases. So this is the muffins, and I think they're cooked. They look cooked. They're quite brown on this side, so the oven evidently doesn't cook quite evenly because they're all brown on this side. I think you can see a little bit better now, but they look pretty good in my opinion. I'm just going to get a toothpick and then we'll do the toothpick test and see if they're actually done. So I don't have a toothpick, so we won't be doing the toothpick test, but I do have one of these, so we'll use this instead. Yeah, that's cooked. So beautiful, aren't they? I'm very proud of myself. I'm going to give you a close-up view when they're in here, and then I'll put them on a plate and show you again, just so you can see how uneven they actually are. So now that they have cooled a little bit, we're going to try one just to make sure they're not horrendous, because if they're awful I won't give them to anybody, obviously. So we're going to try this one. It's still not cool enough because you can see that it's sticking to the paper a lot, but that's fine for just a little taste test. It seems to be mostly cooked. They might be a little bit underdone, but they taste nice. So I'm going to let these cool down completely so this monstrosity doesn't happen, and hopefully my sister and everybody else enjoys them, even if they are a little underdone. So this recipe worked pretty well. I think this would be a nice loaf, like a banana loaf, as well as muffins.
Editing me here, and I just wanted to update you that the muffins were incredibly tasty. They were definitely better the next day when they had cooled completely. It was quite difficult to peel them off of the muffin cases, so if I was to repeat this recipe, which I likely will with a few little tweaks, then I would either make it into a loaf, which I think would work a much better, it was quite firm, or use a muffin tin that didn't require cases. But overall it was really quite tasty and everybody was happy with them, so pretty good, but a few tweaks would be needed.
Probably won't do it in the same way again because it was a bit odd, as we saw, but overall it worked pretty well and it tastes really quite nice. I don't really taste the lemon so much, or the coconut, so I might add more of that if I was to do it again. But for those of you who eat banana bread a lot, you know that bananas are quite dominating, like a dominating flavour, so that is something to bear in mind for next time. But again, very quite nice, and yeah, thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.